Hi, I'm Mandeep Singh, founder of mandeeps.com, and in this video we'll be working with our authorize.net extension for our Lifeforms module. So let's get started. What I have here is an instance of Lifeforms 4, and I already have a form set up. I simply went to our site, and from the Lifeforms gallery I am basically looking at the buy now template. I simply copied the code here and pasted it into my Lifeforms sharing code right here, and that's how I have the form set up. So you can do the same. Once you have the form set up here like this, we're just gonna go ahead and set up the actions to process the payment through authorize.net. So let's get started. We simply have a product drop down here, which bunch of options. We're selling 3 different versions. These are a different cost for each, and here's the total amount that we're going to be charging off. So let's set up the actions. I'm going to go to options, actions, and from here I'm going to go to payments, authorize.net. Now you can give this any action name you like. I'm just going to call this authorize. Your login ID and transaction key, you will get that from authorize.net. If you're not sure where to get that, refer to our documentation, and I will walk you step by step on how to get those. I am working in a sandbox environment, so there's no live processing, so I'm going to check that off. And then in this particular demo we're charging a credit card, so I'll use this option, but you do have the option to also accept e-checks through a bank account, so we'll have a separate demo for that. We can either authorize only or authorize and charge at the same time, so I'm going to do authorize and charge. And then here we simply set up our billing address. I already have a credit card field and an address field on the form, so I'm going to simply map with those. The first and last name can come from the credit card field, and then there's an email field and an address field, so I'm simply going to map these out here. And then for the payment information, we're going to just simply map to the credit card. And finally, the total purchase amount is, we have a currency field called amount, which we will use. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and that's it. We have our authorize.net action set up. I'm going to go ahead and also add a message, and I'm going to call this a success message. I'm simply going to say that an order was placed if this transaction is successful. And as you can see, I'm using a authorize.net token. This is the token value, and this is the action name that I used in the previous action. After the transaction goes through, I'll show you some of the tokens you can use, but right now I'm just gonna say if the transaction is successful, we'll just say order placed. To do this, I'm gonna say only execute this if the immediately prior action is successful. So let's go ahead and do that. Then I'm also gonna add one more message, and in this one I'm simply gonna say that there was an error placing the order, and I'll call this error, and this one will execute if any of the prior actions failed. So if any prior actions failed, then we'll execute this. So that's it. We have our actions set up, so we can go ahead and give this a try. Let's go right here, and I can say let's just do iPhone 6s, so that's for $600, and I'm gonna say I have a test credit card, which I'm gonna paste right here, and then just give it a expiry and a CVV code, and type in an address, and then an email address. And let's process this. I'm gonna hit buy now, and as we can see, it says order placed, and we got a transaction ID back from authorize.net. So that's how easy it was to set it up with authorize.net for your payment processing. I'm gonna go back into manage, and we can see that there's my transaction, and I'm gonna click on this little icon here which shows the action results, and as you can see, the authorize.net action was successful. Here's the information that was returned by authorize.net. That's the transaction ID I was showing, and any field that you have in transaction response is what you can use in any of the subsequent actions using the tokens to show. So and we can see that a success message was shown, and the error message was not executed because the conditions were not met for that. So there we go. It's a very short video to show how to set up authorize.net. Be sure to check out the other video for the accepting e-checks or debiting a bank account. And then there's also another video that walks you through how to set up this these tokens right here, or how to calculate totals and so forth. So be sure to check those videos out as well. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to open a support ticket. We'll be happy to assist you as always. Thank you so much for watching the video.